The princess kissed the frog. Mwah! He turned into a prince, and they lived happily ever after. Well, let's just say they lived sort of happily for a long time. Okay, so they weren't so happy. In fact, they were miserable. Stop sticking your tongue out like that! How come you never want to go down to the pond anymore? The prince and princess were so unhappy, they didn't know what to do. I would prefer if you not hop around on the furniture. And it would be nice if once in a while you got out of the house to slay a giant or dragon or whatever. The prince didn't feel like going out and slaying anything. He just felt like running away. And that's when he reread his book. And it said right there at the end of his story, they lived happily ever after. The end. So he stayed and drove the princess crazy. Then one day, the princess threw a perfectly awful fit. First, to keep you awake with your terrible, croaking snore. Then, I find a lily pad in your pocket. I can't believe I actually kissed your slimy frog lips. Sometimes, I think it would be better for both of us if you were still a frog. That's when the idea hit him. Frog? Yes, that's it! So he ran off into the forest to find a witch who could turn him back into a frog. The Frog Prince is a classic tale where the prince and princess live happily ever after. Or so they thought. When the relationship gets a little rocky and the feeling of love is long forgotten, the only way to fix this is to reverse the spell in The Frog Prince Continued by John Scieszka. The prince hadn't gone far when he ran into just the right person he was looking for. Miss Witch, excuse me, Miss Witch, I wonder if you could help me.
Say, you're not looking for a princess to kiss, are you?
No, I've already been kissed. I'm the Frog Prince. Actually, I was wondering if you could turn me back into a frog.
Are you sure you're not looking for a beautiful sleeping princess to wake up?
No, I'm the Frog Prince.
Frog, you say? That's funny. You don't look like a frog. Well, no matter. If you're a prince, you're a prince. But I can't have any princes waking up Sleeping Beauty before 100 years are up. I'm going to have to cast a nasty spell on you.
The prince didn't stick around to see which nasty spell the witch had in mind. He ran back into the forest until he came upon a strange-looking house with a woman inside who looked like she might help him. Miss Witch, excuse me, Miss Witch, I wonder if you could help me. I'm a prince and...
Huh? What did you say? Prince?
No, I'm not the prince looking for Sleeping Beauty, but I'm the Frog Prince. Actually, I was wondering if a member of your profession could turn me back into a frog.
Frog, you say? That's funny. I thought frogs were little green guys with webbed feet. Well, no matter. If you're a prince, you're a prince. But I can't have any princes rescuing Snow White. Here, eat the rest of this apple.
The prince didn't stick around to see what that apple was made out of. Surely he knew his fairy tales. So he ran back into the forest until he came upon a tiny cottage with a witch inside. Miss Witch, excuse me, Miss Witch, I wonder if you could help me. I'm the frog.
If you're the frog, I'm the king of France.
I am not a frog. I'm the Frog Prince. I need a witch to turn me back into a frog so I can live happily ever after. Can you do it?
Well, of course I can, dearie. Come right in. Maybe I can fit you in for lunch.
The prince stepped on the slightly gummy steps. Something about this house seemed very familiar. He broke off a piece of the windowsill and tasted it. Gingerbread? Excuse me, Miss Witch. Do you happen to know any children by the name of Hansel and Gretel?
Why, of course, dearie, I do. I'm expecting them for dinner.
The prince, who, as we said before, knew his fairy tales, quickly ran back into the forest. Soon, he was completely lost. He saw a woman standing next to a tree. Madam, I'm the Frog Prince. Could you help me?
Gosh, do you need it? You're the worst looking frog I've ever seen.
I am not a frog. I'm the Frog Prince. I need someone to turn me back into a frog so I can live happily ever after. Can you do it?
Oh, well, I suppose I can. I'm actually on my way to see a woman about going to a ball, but I suppose I could give it a try. I've never done frogs before, you know.
And with that, the fairy godmother waved her magic wand and turned the prince into a beautiful carriage. The prince couldn't believe his rotten luck. The sun went down, the forest got spookier, and the prince became more and more frightened. Oh, what an idiot I've been! I could be sitting in the castle with the princess living happily ever after. Instead, I'm stuck as this stupid carriage, stuck in this stupid forest. I'll proudly just rot and fall apart and live unhappily ever after. The prince thought these frightening thoughts until, deep in the village, the clock struck midnight. Bong, 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 bong. The prince turned back into his former prince self. So he ran by the light of the moon back to his castle, safe and sound. Where have you been? I've been worried sick. You're 7 hours late. Your dinner is cold. Your clothes are a mess. The prince looked at the princess who had believed in him when no one else would. The princess who'd actually kissed his slimy frog lips. The princess who loved him. The prince kissed the princess. Mwah! They both turned into frogs, and they hopped off, living happily ever after.